Geektopia, my little space on the internet to talk all things geeky. And within Geektopia, we have little segments. This is Geek Squad, where I get some friends of mine, and we want you involved as well, by the way, to talk about either a TV show or a movie that we've all sat down and watched independently of each other, and then we gather to discuss it. So Carvin is here, along with puppy Zach, who's just dropped his cigarette on the ground.
Hey, forget about it.
Forget about it. Levy, and of course, Chief Jantan TL as well. But first and foremost, Zach, we're not trying to promote smoking here, so you have to explain why. You can put it in your mouth, it's already too late. But why have you got the cigarette and a vest on?
Well, you busting my balls, Adam. You busting my balls over here, Maro.
Okay, Zach's trying to sound Italian because what we've watched is The Green Book, and Viggo Mortensen's character, very, very, very Italian. And
I'm gonna save this for later.
The guy who looks like Zach but with hair, and is his housemate, recommended us to watch it. He can't make it, so we're not going to get his opinion. I'm going to jump straight in and ask Carvin what he thought of The Green Book, which won Best Picture at the Oscars, by the way.
No, I mean, it's a great way to tell a story. I love how they spin the stereotypes on its head, right? The whole white and black thing, and the whole. I like how they painted the gray in the situation, right? I still think that movie was saved by some tremendous acting. Like the acting was just 10 out of 10. Like the story itself, it was okay. It was cringy at some points. It was good at a lot of points. But at the end of the day, I think it was sometimes a bit forced, sometimes a bit like you know what's gonna happen. Like you know what's gonna happen. It was very like telegraphed. It was very it wasn't like breaking any walls or anything like that. It was just a feel good story about a situation that is very prevalent to all of us lah. And I basically the acting is 10 out of 10 and basically made that movie greater than it should.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali. First time I saw him, I think was in Luke Cage.
Yes.
He played the bad guy, but they killed him off halfway through the first season, and he was the best part about the show, which is a real shame. He would then go on to win an Oscar and then win another Oscar in the same category, Best Supporting Actor, for this film, The Green Book. But the two people who tend to be the most skeptical of everything we've watched, apart from what they recommended, would be the girls. So Levy and Hadis, I'm going to go with the younger one first. Levy, I want to know what you thought about The Green Book.
Okay. It was long, but I did enjoy it.
You did? You you did? That's surprising. The fact you like something.
I did enjoy it because of the Tony guy, of that actor.
Tony Lip, Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, he brought the life in the movie because of some comedy, some jokes, and the way he acts and stuff like that. And I really like how they put like a black guy and a white guy, and then they portray friendships. Like I was telling Hadis earlier on, it's like me and Hadis, we are total opposites of each other, like yin and yang. I'm not saying because he's a white guy and a black guy, but like opposites attract, and it's so cool to see how they can get along during the tour and stuff like that. You get to learn about each other.
And it's based on a true story as well, I should add. So it's not fictional. Hadis, did you like the movie?
I loved it, I have to say. But are you saying that, Levy, is just because I like fast food? Is it?
Oh my God, yes.
KFC fan?
Yes.
Okay, on that note, I watched it at like 2 a.m. or something. I started it at 2 a.m. and it got me feeling a little bit hungry. And I tell you what, I used to smoke cigarettes a lot, and it made me want to just have a cigarette as well. How it was back in the day in the 1950s and the 1960s.
So relaxed.
Yeah. Okay, Zach, this is your turn. And before you talk, I just want to throw in, because I think it was Levy just now, you mentioned the comedy element and Tony Lip. What surprised me is the director. Did you take note of who it was?
Yeah, it was one of the Farrelly brothers.
Yeah, Farrelly brothers. If you've watched some of the gross out comedies over the years, like There's Something About Mary, probably the most famous example. He's one of the directors, him and his brother. So this is his solo project. And from Something About Mary, which is a gross out comedy, to this. I mean, it's such a big shift. I think Mahershala Ali said it's like a first-time director with 25 years experience because it really was quite different. So Zach, on that note, bearing in mind it's one of the Farrelly brothers, did you enjoy the movie?
Yeah, I freaking loved it. You know, it spoke my heart right here. You know, the movie is like a house. You know,
Oh, like the
with
letter.
happy people and lights in it.
And lights in it.
It was fucking beautiful.
And finally, Chief Jantan. There's a smile on your face, so I'm going to say that you liked it.
Yeah, of course. I liked it, and I agree with Kavin because the acting made the movie. The storyline, again, been there, done that, you know. But it was the acting that really made the movie. Those two guys, man, they really can act.
Yeah.
If I can just say, I mean, you guys, Kavin and you mentioning that it's done. I don't think so. How many movies have you seen where a black guy is educated, is gay, and going through the whole Jim Crow thing?
First of all, the gay thing was like a minute. Okay, it wasn't. If you take out that part, it doesn't change the movie in any way whatsoever. Now,
Yeah,
I'm
it
just saying
doesn't
that,
why
look,
the
at the end of
marriage
the-
didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's just a part of the story. It's not even a major part of the story, the gay thing. And also the fact that, look, there's so many movies who did the same thing. Look, at the end of the day, it's again a white savior complex, right? That is basically what the movie is. And you look, at the end of the day, you can poke holes in this, but however, I decided not to because it's still a good story. It's still a story that warms the heart enough lah. And also the fact that look, watching Aragon turn into that Italian stereotype was enjoyable on its own. For me, that was like I couldn't get out of the fact that he's just gonna pull out a sword and say "For Frodo" at one point.
For Frodo.
I'm just saying, I think when we say been there, done that thing, is okay, the setting may be different, right? But the underlying story is the same, these two guys who come from different backgrounds, they go on a journey together and then they become good friends and whatever, So I think that's what we mean. Like, of course, the setting is different. And of course, this was based out of a true story. But that's what we mean.
I'm just going to stress again, because it's going to sound strange coming from me, but I am half Asian. I'm not pure Matsale. Even though Chief Jantan likes to call me white boy. I was born here. My mom is 100% Malaysian. But Kavin said white savior. Now, that is one of the controversial issues surrounding the film. Yeah. Should it be an issue for you, Kavin, or not? Is it going to be that any film where the hero is white will be labeled as white savior? Are we even allowed to have a film now where the white character is the hero?
No, I mean, it's not that. It's just the fact that, look, at the end of the day, the white savior complex here is the fact that, look, this story would not happen without the white character. Now, I'm not saying that they've done it badly in this movie, or the fact that, look, at the end of the day, that was the controversy, and we all should get behind the fact that the black people don't need white people to survive. No, I mean, it was accurate based on the timeline that they did it in, which was 1940s.
1962 is when it was set.
62, yes, that's the one. So yeah, I mean, it's correct for the timeline. It's not it's not wrong, but then again, that story we've seen other iterations of that story. It's not
Right.
that.
For example.
God lah, okay.
Oh yeah, God.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
God.
before you carry on, I just want to throw in the fact that it is based on a true story. Does that not change anything for you?
No, as I said earlier, I don't think that is a problem to me. I don't think it's again, as I said, I don't think it's an issue or controversy in this movie at all. I think yes, I see it, I understand that it is, but however, it's based on a true story and how it happened, and it's correct based on the timeline. That even if this was a work of fiction, right? Correct lah. In 1962, that's what happened. It's not like a black person could just walk out there and be, I am the king of the world. No, you can't. Like, you will get shot.
There was one interesting, because I did a little bit of research into this afterwards. One criticism is the Green Book itself, which is a real thing, by the way.
Yes.
The book, not the movie. it was never handled by Mahershala Ali's character, Don Shirley. It's always handled by the white guy, and he's the one who's in control, and he's the one who decided everything. So they say that plays into the white savior narrative, the fact that it's the white guy using the book, not the black guy. Now, whether that happened in real life, nobody will know, because both of the characters in real life have already passed away. So I have no idea of knowing.
Actually, they only passed away in 2013.
Yeah, within months of each other. Months of each other as well. One issue which I was reading about, I think this was Entertainment Weekly, was that it looks like the white guy was saved by the black guy. He made him a better person. Remember how he was racist at the beginning? He threw the cups away. He couldn't write letters to his wife. But the other counter argument to that is they made each other better. So it's not a question of the white guy becomes better because of the black guy, but the black guy was also made better because of the white guy. So you could say it balances out. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, I know some people here might not know who he is, but he's a very, very famous basketball player. He's one of the greats of basketball. This is what he said. He actually defended the film. He's a black guy. And he wrote, the filmmakers are history's interpreters, not its chroniclers. So he's saying, don't take this at fact value. It's not a documentary. It's not a school textbook. It's not a school film. It is just a film, which is based on a true story, yes, but it is their interpretation, and it's not meant to be an exact science, which I think is a fair thing. Sometimes we read too much into films when we watch, and we're saying that it wasn't like this at all. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, Kevin.
No, and I agree. And I said I said that the whole thing was, they say, and I agree that, look, at the end of the day, we're watching movies, just, chill, just look for the entertainment value of it before you go into the nitty-gritty and the details of the whole thing. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we are in the industry to be entertained, and if we are entertained, good lah. I mean, don't let the facts get into a good movie. Just how you don't let facts get into a good joke. If you tell a joke and it's factually wrong, you just laugh and go home lah.
Yeah, I mean, if we were basing everything on fact, we wouldn't have superhero movies, because that is completely illogical.
Actually,
hey, bro. Actually, Batman is real, bro. Hey,
he could be real. He could be real. Okay, first, I think we're going to wrap up our review of the Green Book. We need to score the movie. Now, this is a Best Picture winner, so that should come into the equation. The acting, phenomenal. I mean, Viggo Mortensen doesn't do many movies, and apparently he really has to like a movie in order to be in it, and he read the script, fell in love, and the rest is history. So let's go with Levy first. What ranking would you give this? How many apples would you give it?
I would give 8 apples.
8 out of 10 apples?
Tia
I don't know
looks
what I don't know why you giggle like you're so embarrassed by it. I'll give it 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 apples. Okay. Hades the Goddess, what about you?
I think by the impact of the movie overall, not judging any racism on it or whatever, I would give it a 9 because I felt touched by the movie, and especially like what we discussed, I think, on our previous episode about Raya, when we said that Asian that did the voice actor are not Asian, they are Asian American. So when I watched the movie, sorry, this is a bit a note that I took down. It's that when the car broke down and he came out of the car and looked at the farmers that they were digging, it's like, and the comment that Tony gave him, like, oh, I'm blacker than you are because this and that, is like how we reviewed, like you don't feel the sense of belonging because like you live somewhere else, or you do certain things different than your original, like, people do, and then you feel like I don't belong here, I don't belong there, I feel I don't belong anywhere. That was a bit of a take that I felt touched, because like you can't really like tie yourself, like, if I'm not like farming, I'm not black enough, so it was that debate that a bit got me thinking about the overall like film, not just because he was black, but overall, like, when you grow up different than your own people, you don't feel belong to anywhere. So like how we judge like Asian American not being Asian enough. So it's like I feel they also feel like they don't belong in America because they see them as Asian, and in Asia we call them Asian American because they are not Asian enough. So it's like we need to take this back a bit and feel like how a person will feel if they grow up somewhere that they feel that they don't belong.
See,
like here and there.
Honestly, I think you've brought up the strongest point from that, which I hadn't fully figured myself, because I think I know everyone's backstory. So I know that we can all relate to that to some degree. Me, I'm Malaysian, but I know I don't look it. So it's a question of me fitting in ever since I was young. And then I go to England. I've been in Malaysia my entire life. And suddenly, how do I fit in there? I know, Levy, you are as mixed as I am. So I'm sure you can feel the resonance of my words. Yeah. And you yourself, I forgot to mention, you are not Malaysian and you've been here for 8 years now?
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
So I can't really relate back home now because life is different for girls my age and me here. So it's like, also like I don't belong there anymore. I'm not Malaysian enough. So it's like.
And by the way, what Carvin brought up about how accurate history is, or how accurate things are portrayed or depicted in the movie, I guess you more than anyone else have actually brought this up several times about how Iran or any part of the Middle East is depicted in movies.
Yes.
Which are usually the bad guys.
Yes.
So I guess if anybody has any qualms with representation in that sense, it would be you, right?
Yeah, why are you not covered up?
Yeah, that's the question that would be asked, I guess.
Yeah.
Zach, what's your rating?
Go straight off the bat, and not because this movie won Oscar or anything. It's just straight up how this movie made me feel. I give it 9 apples. 9 solid fucking good apples.
9 Adam's apples out of 10. Okay.
Yes. I was very impressed. I mean, Viggo Mortensen is up there in my terms of like my favorite actor. I mean, he just becomes the role that he plays, you know. And Mahershala Ali, haven't seen much from him except from the Marvel series, but he is somebody to look out for. And
Moonlight, by the way, is the other film he got his Oscar for.
That's right.
The previous year. He is going to be playing Blade. He spoke of Marvel. He was in Luke Cage as a Marvel show, but he's going to be Blade as well.
And I got to be honest, like at first impression, I was like, no, this guy is a little bit too skinny to play Blade. You know, I mean, I'm expecting a Wesley Snipes kind of stature, like body wise, but I'm looking forward to his interpretation of Blade now. Like right now, I'm just very excited.
Calvin, what about yourself? You live up to your nickname. Not many people do, of Grumpy. So I know you're a very hard man to please.
I don't know. I mean, taking away the whole Oscar thing and everything, I think story-wise, I give it a 7.
Mm-hmm.
But however, taking into consideration with the acting and everything, easily bumps it up to 8. Like, So I think 8 is where I land on now.
That is high praise indeed. I mean, this is a guy, when his daughter was born, he was just like,
Yeah.
But ask him what his favorite movie. Ask him what his all-time favorite movie is.
Yeah, what is your all-time favorite movie?
Fight Club and Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh, okay. Good choices. What about Chief Jantan? Yourself?
8.5.
8.5. So
yeah,
not bad. I'm probably in agreement there. About 8.5 for me. And I have to also say the film was beautifully shot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Cinematography
was so good.
Yeah, like some of the scenes where they're driving through, and when he's writing his letter and he's like to his wife, the planes, and he doesn't know like planes, like, and the
and deer.
fields. Yeah, and deer makes me want to drive a classic car like that. It just sort of like drew me in and take a road trip across America, not in 1962, but in the modern day.
Yeah, what bothered me is that they never stopped at the petrol station once.
He did.
What?
Not to fill up petrol, to buy food.
No, yeah.
Buy cigarettes, Scott.
To buy
Like
pebble.
Apple, buy the apple
Steal
and
the
steal the
pebble.
rock. Steal the pebble.
Pebble.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys. Once again, this is Geek Squad, all part of Geektopia. Anything you want us to watch, just please leave a recommendation. We want you to be involved as much as possible. If you want to discuss anything with us, once you've seen it, recommend it, and then we'll bring you into the conversation as well once we do the recording. And we've all enjoyed your recommendation. Like, share, and subscribe as per usual. Bye.
Forget about it. Hey.